You held me like a heartbeat, each word like a snowflake. I yearn for the distance to slowly fade away. We are young, this is right. We were meant, you and I. We are once in a lifetime, and if everything starts with tonight, it's you and I. It's you and you frame me like a picture, a moment in forever. Slow rolling underwater, but nothing needs to change. We are young, this is right. We were meant, you and I. We are once in a lifetime, and if everything starts with tonight, it's you and it's you and
Talking in my sleep at night. wrote it down and read it out, hoping it would save me. Too many times. My love, he makes it feel like nobody else. Nobody else. But my love, he doesn't love me, so I tell myself. One, don't pick up the phone, you know he's only calling cause he's drunk and alone. Two, don't let him in, you have to kick him out again. Three, don't be his friend, you know you're gonna wake up in his bed in the morning. And if you're under him, you ain't getting over him.
Cut the mid-range, drop the bass.
Don't pick up the phone, you know he's only calling cause he's drunk and alone. Two, don't let him in, you have to kick him out again. Three, don't be his friend, you know you're gonna wake up in his bed in the morning. And if you're under him, you ain't getting over him.
Cut the mid-range, drop the bass.
I'm still trying to learn it by heart. Eat, sleep and breathe it, rehearse and repeat it. Cause one, don't pick up the phone, you know he's only calling cause he's drunk and alone. Two, don't let him in, you have to kick him out again. Three, don't be his friend, you know you're gonna wake up in his bed in the morning. If you're under him, you ain't getting over him. I got no rules, I count them.
some setups. They did exactly that, and Mir, he had a blinder of the game.
Yeah, Mir did have a blinder. I want to mention as well, you know, we were talking about Nifty opening, bit of a slow start from here.
Very slow start, but he did have one of their influential rounds to get them into the game. He had that amazing 3 versus 1 AWP clutch on the A-bomb side. That was some impressive shots. That's what we performance. I think we've, like we said, we've come to expect a lot better, and he has now got a lot of attention on him being considered one of the better AWPers in North America.
Yeah, I am intrigued by that sort of reaction from the coach, because honestly, I don't see what they did wrong tactically in that round. You know, I didn't pick up on it. I mean, you can't legislate for what JR did there, right when he needed it. 2 big kills, nearly the third. You had to clutch it out.
Yeah, it's come down to that 1v1 at the very end, I think. Obviously, you're 1 round away from bringing it back from a 15-10 deficit. It's you can see in the comms bringing that one back. Everyone's very excited, and morale is at an all-time high. Then it all goes wrong in the last round. It's the most crushing way to go out in that kind of environment. It's a very cutthroat Swiss format, like we discussed, and it's going to be a disappointing finish there for Renegades.
But enough about Renegades, because obviously, you know, they've lost that first game. This is what we talked about, best of ones, and we said that Vega Squadron were a dangerous opponent in this situation. Looked impressive to me. As I said, maybe the Pistols, they go another way. We're probably talking about maybe Renegades getting across there, but honestly, like, this is the potential that can happen within the Swiss system with teams like Vega Squadron.
Absolutely, and they played the way they needed to play, you know, with a lot of confidence, and they had some help from, you know, Mir leading the way, right? That's what was missing for Renegades. When you're not playing well as a team, that's where individuals need to step up and help you out. I was mentioning Naf maybe as the guy. He also had a quiet game in that first half on the T side. So you have a closer who has a slow game and an opener in Nifty who's having a slow game, and that's just 2 crucial pieces that were missing for the majority of that first half, and that's where Vega won the game.
Some final thoughts about Vega Squadron from
you? It was impressive to see even one of their star players dropping off. Chopper wasn't actually turning up at all. He's on 9 frags towards the very end there, and they can still pull it together and work effectively as a unit. It's a great start. I think they could have some exciting games going forward in this one. I think they could make it to the actual main tournament, so it's going to be fun to follow them.
Yeah, long way to go, of course. And we've got another game coming for you, several of them, in fact. Mouse Sports versus Vanguard is going to be coming up. But first, earlier today, Smix did talk with the Mouse Sports legend, 4 years at the organization, Chris J.
Hey guys, this is Smix here, joined with Chris J from Mouse Sports. So first of all, Chris J, it's 2018. How are you and the team doing right now?
Well, we're feeling good. I mean, we ended the last year on a good note, I would say. We reached a few finals, so we're still feeling confident. We had a small bootcamp to get back in shape, and we're feeling ready.
So at the end of last year, I know that, as you just mentioned, you had some really great results with Mykonos and ECS, but there were some also on the flip side, some events where it didn't go as well. So overall, how did you feel about your team's performance?
I mean, we were certainly not satisfied with the year in the end, but we felt like we started to get into a really good shape. I mean, at the end, we reached DreamHack Winter Final and ECS Final, so that was certainly good. And not only that, I felt like the team was actually just playing good, so yeah, we're feeling good about that.
Now, first match is going to be up against Vanguard. I know that for a lot of people, they may not know so much about this team, but what about you guys? How do you feel about this going up against them?
Well, we also know not so much about them. When we saw that we had to play in the first round, most of us didn't even know who was in their team, so I guess it's kind of hard to not underestimate them, but we have to just do that and respect them as players, because obviously they made it to here, so they must be pretty good, right? So yeah, we prepared a bit against them, but we're not overthinking it too much. We know that if we play our own game, we're going to beat them.
All right, sounds good. Best of luck, and we'll see you in a little bit.
Thank you.
So, Mouse Sports, one of the form teams coming into this major. I mean, you got to say, I didn't have high hopes when this lineup sort of came together. It looked a bit directionless. Then you move Chris J to win game leader. I was like, uh-oh, here we go.
Yeah, but you bring in Sonny and Robs, Richard.
Yeah,
all
exactly.
Of a sudden it gets a little bit exciting, doesn't it?
So much going on in this team. So just tell us about it, Henry.
It's been fantastic. Similar vein to what FaZe are doing with an international project, trying to handpick some of the upcoming talents in the form of, like, Robs, for example. He's been a name that's been talked about a lot recently. 17 years old and one of the best aimers and kind of general players we have right now upcoming in the scene. Oscar, the AWP player, he's had a weird journey in CSGO, especially with this team as well. He was benched last year for a brief period, and he came back more confident than ever, looking better than ever as well. It's been great to follow that journey. Sonny, for me, is the absolute star of this team. I think if he turns up to this major, they could go very, very deep indeed, and they've had some great tournament finishes towards the tail end of 2017. Mykonos comes to mind, with actually won that tournament and getting to the finals of ECS as well. So a team that's definitely on an upward trajectory.
And Janko, you've drawn the short straw on this one, because I don't think it's too disrespectful to say we did have to get on Liquipedia to start talking about a Vanguard. We had to dig deep. Now, I've seen them play a couple of times. I watched some online CS, and they actually did okay.
A lot of free time, Richard.
Yeah, a lot of free time, yeah, just spinning the wheels. But what can you tell us about them?
Probably the most useful team graphic that we're going to see whole tournament, right, for the guys back home. And for us, we didn't get to see them at any of the tournaments we were working at. They didn't even make any splashes, you know, online in terms of maybe some of the qualifiers for the larger tournaments, mostly some online cups where they played at, but they are actually the CIS minor championship champions. They did beat Quantum Bellator Fire in that grand final, and you can see the lineup right there switching in the middle of it. And you know, I think the problem for that is they just are not going to have a great time here. I don't think individually they're yet on a level where they can compete with some of these teams, and just the understanding of Counter-Strike and the way they think Counter-Strike works is not probably what they're going to get here.
Yeah, very hard to look past mouse spots for this one. Any thoughts about a Vanguard, though, Henry?
Not in particular. I just, the only thing you can really say is there won't be a ton of information about what they like to play, how they play. I think Chris J is absolutely correct. He should just play their own game. He doesn't need to be concentrating trying to anti-strat them or changing anything up. Pound for pound, every single player on mouse sports can be better than the Avant-Garde guys. So I feel like play their game, keep it sensible, nothing too crazy. Best of one. Try and keep your economy under control. Don't have to be force buying all over the places. Keep to the guns and try and play your own game. I think that's absolutely fine.
Well, I've got a bit of bad news for them.
Not again.
Because the map pick is Mirage. Again. Mouse Sports got the pick there. It's obviously a good map for them. Vanguard, they've chosen the CT side. I guess that's sensible. Yes. Start on that CT side. Play conservatively, try and get some rounds.
You're going to see a lot of Mirage today, Richard. It's a middle ground for a lot of teams. Yeah, every single team will see a lot of Inferno, Mirage potentially coming in. So that doesn't surprise me whatsoever. But it's going to be not a walk in the park for Mouse Sports. So definitely be cautious with this one and make sure they don't give anything away. You lose a pistol, you lose a first gun round, it can spiral out of control. Like I said, watch the economy. CT start for Avant-Garde, it doesn't really matter on Mirage too much. It's not like you've got a huge advantage on the CT side. It's what you prefer. It is slightly more favoured towards the CTs, but overall, Mouse Sports still going double digits on the T side won't surprise me at all.
On the market, Mouse coin?
It's looking very profitable right now. It might spike after this game. So if you're looking to invest and increase your portfolio, definitely go for Mouse coin.
What do you think?
Mouse Sports, without a doubt.
Yeah, without a doubt. I think this could be one of the more one-sided ones, but we'll wait and see. Anyway, we'll now throw you over to our casters. It's still Moses and Anders over at the Boost Mobile caster desk. Oh, my bad. Apparently, we are going to go to a break, actually. So, yep, we're going to go to a quick commercial, and then we're going to get into the game.
Smooth.
See you. Yeah, smooth. See you in a few minutes.
I can do anything.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to the E-League Major. We're here at the Boost Mobile casting desk. I'm with Moses, and we're about to get into game number 2 of day number 1. It's going to be exciting. It's Mouse Sports versus Avant-Garde. How do you feel about that?
I mean, Mouse Sports is another one of those teams that's super exciting to watch right now because they have that very fun style of play, and obviously Oscar is like a player that just everyone has fun because he's dominant when he has one of those good games. It's kind of a bit of a question mark in their opponents. To me, this is one of those matches where I think the majority of people, except for apparently Sadicus, is the one person who's believing in the upset here, because he's losing his mind.
We should get him checked out, shouldn't we?
Yeah, it's time. We'll bring in the MRI machines.
There must be a mental health professional in the Atlanta area that's on call that can be brought in.
Experienced with esports commentators, just losing it.
Esports fatigue syndrome.
Regardless, I mean, this is one of those matches where it's just Mouse Sports is a huge favorite here, and Avant-Garde is going to have a really tough time. And I think this is one of those where no matter how much they're prepared, I don't think anything can really prepare them for this game.
No, I mean, you almost have to hope that in Mouse Sports' eyes, they're so far under the radar that they haven't even really sort of, taken too much into it. Like if you're Mouse Sports and you're thinking, well, we have to essentially not lose 3 games. Yeah. Then you're looking at sort of all the other teams in the qualifying and saying, well, this isn't one of them. This is not going to be one of them anyway. So we have to prepare for all the rest of them. That could be hard to play with versus. So that might be the only thing that I can think of for Avant-Garde that might be working out here.
That and you're gonna have to have massive underperformances. We'll see how it goes though. We are getting live into the pistol round, the second matchup here. Oh, hello.
All right.
Well, thanks, Prius/Sapphire, whichever one that is.
Maybe both. I'm gonna guess Heather. I mean that's
the color coordination suggests Heather.
Yeah. Someone should bring a pie.
That's cute.
I know, isn't it? Already there's going to be a rush onto the A-bomb site. James trying to fall back. Demasic picking up a kill on Stiko, and it's going to be returned quickly. Oscar hitting another headshot, taking down Buster, and that's going to leave it.
Deploying decoy. Smoke! Flashback. I am planting the bomb. Bomb has been planted. Throwing a flashback. Defusing. Bomb has been defused. Counter-terrorists win. I shall regret this day. Throwing smoke. Incendiary. Grenade out. Throwing a grenade. Smoke. Flashback. smoke. Deploying flashbang. Terrorists win. Let's go, my brothers. Smoke. Throwing fire. Throwing smoke. Throwing fire. Throwing flashbang. Throwing smoke. Terrorists win. Are we rushing in? Or are we going sneaky beaky like? Incendiary. Grenade out. Flashbang. Throwing fire. Grenade. Laying down smoke. Throwing a flashbang. I'm throwing a flashbang. Throwing fire. Throwing a flashbang. Throwing flashbang. Planting. Bomb has been planted. Throwing fire. Throwing fire. Smoke. Laying down smoke. I'm throwing flashbang. Terrorists win. We will drive them from our lands. I'm throwing smoke. Smoke. Molotov. Grenade. Flashbang. Smoke. Throwing fire. Throwing a flashbang. I'm throwing a flashbang. Flashbang. Blending. Terrorists win. Bomb has been planted.
Remove any doubts in your head. It's us or them. Incendiary out.
Smoke.
Throwing smoke. Incendiary out. Throwing a grenade. Laying down smoke.
Two, the shot, the spray down towards connector. He doesn't get the kill, but he predicts the next peak is going to be coming from jungle, and he's prepared for that. Just can't win out the one-on-one. A couple nice shots from Quikert, even slowing down the hit initially. 4-2, Vanguard in a lead. The underdogs putting up a fight here early on. Despite some sloppiness, they've had the miraculous pistol round, the double spray down at range with the UMP in that previous round. So some fortunate things have gone their way, and it looks like Oscar's sick of it. He wants to start taking the game over. He spotted that jump. And how aggressive does he want to be?
Quikert doesn't actually go back for a jump, which if he had, I'd put my money on Oscar to win that shot. So got to be really careful. But I think from Avangard point of view, it's obviously great that they're finally able to win a rifle round, right? That makes a big difference. It's one thing winning the first 3 rounds of the pistol. It's quite a different thing actually being able to sort of win squared up against Mousesports, and they've just proven they can do that now. They just have to keep it going.
I'm really curious what Mousesports is going to want to do here, because they have no map control, no presence. Sticko's very far back. Rops is in T spawn. It almost feels like that B bomb site is the only real option they have at the moment. Under a minute left on the clock, and they're going to readjust, go for a late mid control, and perhaps just do an aggressive split towards one of the sites. Buster's going to move up towards Catwalk as Jame with the AWP comes over to support the B bomb start. Quikert is there, and it is going to be a split towards B coming through the smoke. This is Buster's round, and he's put back early. Down to low HP, and he is going to fall to the Deagle.
Trying his best now. Quikert has to come up big. Stay alive for a long time here. There's only 27 seconds left. The bomb is making its way down on the low ground with Chris. He's going to miss that chance, and Sunny will take him down. That might have been the whole round, just riding on that one engagement. Now they're going to have to go for a retake. They're a man down, and Rops is holding the middle, which means the rest of Mousesports, they don't have to worry about that catwalk at all, and that pretty much means, yeah, there's no way through. That's such a shame, because if Quikert wins that, Chris can't plant on the low ground. Then they have to spend time that they just don't have to find Quikert. So it could have worked out much better. That's a real shame.
That is pretty heartbreaking because it was such a patient play from him as well. It was very, very cool. He's not taking any of the fights. The player's coming up catwalk. He knows his role is to secure these halls. And he had the exact fight he wanted. Unfortunate, but Mouse Sports is going to get their third. Good call on the save, though, pretty early on. Is going to allow Vanguard to have a pretty solid arsenal to work with into this next round, even if they can't really buy up anything too crazy. They have the 3 weapons saved.
By the way,
yes.
Buster, I mean, he did what he could with the FAMAS there, but we often talk about utility, and imagine if he had been playing that corner, you know, with a smoke and a Molotov or something, then even if he doesn't get the first kill, if he can just fall back and Molotov it, that's such a different approach from him. Like, the defense is going to be so different, so he just didn't have any grenades at the end there.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, definitely. This is going to be tough as well. James is going close with an AWP. He's the only one at this A bomb site. Krizen's now rotated over, but James wants to just stop this cold. You mentioned in the last game, wanted to see someone pull a fall, and well, James got a chance here. He's going to miss the opening shot and fall away. What can he do after this? Molotovs, flashbangs, all raining out. So much has been used in this hit, and it's all delayed by 1 Molotov from the defense.
It's almost unbelievable. I thought he would have been run down couple of seconds ago, and he's going to get the kill on Stiko, jumping up on the box, looking for more. James picking up 2 big kills. Quykut comes in and takes down Chris J, leaving Rops in another 1 versus 2. There's so much time for him to make his move, but he did just make a bit of noise, and I'm wondering if Demasik would have heard that over at the connector.
Just as you mentioned the utility and how it can change the way you defend, look at all the nades used by Mouse Sports. If you go back and watch that round, all the smokes, flashes, and Molotovs used by the T side, and it's all gone to waste by 1 counter Molotov from the defense. That's beautiful. Allows time for James to get into a new position, to fall back to safety and find 2 kills. So whoever threw that is the hero. Yeah, essentially.
The unknown hero, we'll never know. Maybe we will if we go back and check for it, but definitely big plays coming out there. Robs wants somebody else to make a mistake. He's hoping that they will have thought that he's going to, you know, head over with the bomb to the B-bomb side and then maybe go for a peek, but nobody has right now. So Avantgarde playing it very well at the moment.
Well, there's 2 schools of thought on a 2v1, and one is both players stay at the same bomb site and retake the other one if need be, and the other one is this, where both players split up, which allows an opportunity for Robs to find that kill. Oh, the Deagle doesn't land a single shot, but he's got to get the plant, and he had no time, and he had no cover anywhere else. So that idea to be patient and hope that someone from Avantgarde would make a mistake comes back to bite him, because he wastes too much time just sitting back and being patient and couldn't actually clear anything out. So nice play overall. Great job by James.
Yeah. I mean, I think when you see him falling back from the ramp and the Molotov goes down in shadow on his left-hand side,
yeah,
and sort of, like, that's where you know he's never going to have a spot to stand still on. And then the Molotov on the ramp saves him so that he actually can. It's really impressive. 5-3, and Mouse Sports continuing to try and force this, see if they can make it work. They've got the AWP, but they're very low on grenades.
It's pretty scrappy buy, isn't it?
Yes.
Galil, they have 2 AKs in the op. Sunny. This is cool. He's just going right in. He's just risking it all. High risk, high reward play, and I think he's going to be rewarded. He has his pick of wherever the hell he wants to go. If he goes towards B, he can have 2 huge impact assassination. Over towards the A bomb site, no one's considering this whatsoever. This is brilliant stuff from Sunny.
Infiltration coin is going to be at an all-time high. Sunny making his way back just with the Galil. He's going to find a big opening any second, but he wants more. He's a little bit greedy. There's the spray coming in. He's realized there's another player there. Sunny will go down to Quykut, but it's still a really big opening. Let's see what happens now. Quykut out in the open. Grenades raining down left and right. He gets the shot on Robs, taking him down. The bomb has dropped as well. James hitting another shot on Stiko. And now it's on Oscar. And we have hyped him up quite a bit. He does forget the bomb on the high ground for a moment. He's got 40 seconds here. Try and see if he can make it work. He's going to go straight for the plant. I think he could do this. It would be the triple clutch here if he can make it work. Oh, long line in towards the kitchen. They haven't shown themselves. Oscar's got to be wondering if there's some sort of late play coming in. Hasn't heard anyone yet. That's 1 out the window. Goes for the second peek and spots it out easily. Now 1 versus 1. James versus Oscar. Shot already baited out. Oscar now repositioning himself. A huge off angle. Not going to be able to get the shot. Time's almost out. And there's the no-scope coming in. The triple kill. That's what you want to see. That's why he's on the team.
you could see as well, super cool to see different kind of styles of opping. Oscar in that one-on-one puts his crosshair right in the middle of the wall, right in the middle of the pillar, and just says, I'll flick to whichever side he peeks from.
Yes.
Instead of just, taking a gamble on one side or the other. Great 1-on-2 win. That was such a critical round for Mousesports to take. Sunny with some, the flank itself, the infiltration, the backstab was perfect, but unfortunately with the timing, the way that the defense was rotating, he never spotted that second player that he really, really wanted. It is good to see Mousesports, though, just say, you know what, this team's a little bit better than we probably expected. We were encountering a bit more resistance, but still, as individual players like Sunny, make that kind of a play.
Yeah, and I mean, if you could listen into their, their team speak while that was happening, just imagine what happens when the comms go out and someone gets shot from the back in the B bomb site. Like, that's a moment of just pure confusion. I'm actually impressed that Quackert sort of managed to keep his own and got the kills in there, because I think, especially if you're unroutine player, you could be surprised by that, and the whole thing could just crumble.
They closed the opportunity for Mousesports very, very quickly. They rotated very, very fast over to that B bomb site to make sure they didn't take too much damage from it. Put himself in a good spot as well. They recovered quite nice, just not able to close it out. This round, though, mid control. Rop's still alone over towards a ramp, and this is going to be tough for Avangard. They only have the pistols and one UMP.
Perfect smoke. James going to be going down. Deema did get one, and Buster lining it up. He's going to follow it up. Double deagle shot as well. Suddenly we're in a 2-on-3 and looking for more. Buster gets the triple, looking for that shot, comes in. Unbelievable, taking down Oscar and cleaning up Mousesports. That is one hell of a round for Buster.
That's unreal. What disgusting shots from Buster. It just turns the entire tide. There's those deagles.
I mean, just...
What can you say about this, Anders?
Just savor this moment. That is so well done.
Look how calm they are. What's that all about? No excitement, no hype, just another day in the office.
I didn't know what to expect, so I guess my expectations were low, but I'm enjoying this quite a bit right now. 6-4 and moving into the 11th round. There is a huge grenade on Oscar that had no armor, so it's going to be just a lot of damage on him early on. He wants to try and see if he can play aggressive with the AWP. That kind of is his style, but they're not going to allow him.
Great utility to block him off, yeah. They've run out of a lot, though, from Avangard, so, I mean, later on in the round, this op, you can see it's the only real weapon on the, or excuse me, the only rifle on the side of Mousesports. Surrounded by 4 deagles, but they've only got 1 smoke left and 2 flashbangs on the defensive side of things, so the longer this round goes, Oscar might be able to find an opening.
Yeah, just about a minute now. The real trouble is they only have one flashbang and 1 Molotov there on Chris, so it won't be easy making their way through. They can't put out any Molotovs, and I mean, Deema does have one if he starts to rotate in, so we'll see how this plays out. Sunny going to make the first move, jumping on in quick with the deagle. He's going to be going down, but Robs with the instant return now. Buster out in the open. Got to be careful against those deagle and that AWP lurking behind on Oscar. The bomb will go down. This is everything that Mousesports could want in this round. Now they just have to put Oscar into play.
Oh, there's the peek. There's the headshot from Chris. That's perfect. Rops follows it up. That could just seal it. Oscar's still alive in the halls, and Sticko's going to add 1 more. The deagles from Mousesports are responding. They're going to turn the tides once again in this. Oscar finally getting the pick off. The only rifle gets the last kill of the round, and that's... You might be wondering why he wasn't more involved. Well, he was just holding off rotations towards market and letting the deagles kind of swarm into that bomb site. So really well put together from Mousesports. And there it is, as I said, later on in that round, with the utility gone, Avangard was going to be exposed in certain ways.
That almost, I think, looked too easy for Mousesports. If someone came to me and said, how about we buy an AWP with no armor and 4 deagles and then try and make that round work, I'd say, I don't know about that. But they did. And I don't know, fighting fire with fire, I guess.
You'd hope that the rounds where they have the AKs would look too easy, you know? You want it to be those rounds. Regardless. Patient behind this smoke is Mousesports. 2 players in Palace. Sticko and Stunny behind this smoke on a ramp. Team is sick. We've seen him be aggressive in this very similar scenario. There's 4 players here for Avangard, and there's the USP, and actually completely blind is that second player, and the kills are all actually going out to the defense. Here's James going to push up, but Chris J's ready for it. He's still got teammates here, but it's a 3-on-3 at the A-bomb site.
Is he going to realize there's someone underneath him? AWP can shoot right through instead, even flashed it. Stiko picking up the kill. Quite good, and Buster, they're going to have to come up big here. 2 versus 3, there's so much time for mousesports. That smoke going to make life a little bit easier in terms of opening up from that balcony, and Buster looking to repeat what he did the previous round. Stiko takes down Quite, so this is going to be a lot more difficult for him. Last time, at least, they weren't looking so much at him. Now, they're all trained on that position. There's the headshot, taking down one, but he shouldn't be given many more fights here. He does not have a defuse kit, and once he's on the bomb, he's way out in the open. He's still sneaking in, trying to see if he could pick up anything. Is there a kit on the ground somewhere? That would be miraculous. Instead, he's going to pick up the UMP and just maybe try and look for the exit.
He took down an AWPer, salvage the AWP, and just get out, just bail. Yeah, he's got it. So, I mean, all in all, it's not... Ooh. Yeah, Chris J is going to chase him down as well. They want this AWP.
Oh, no.
Just get 1 kill is all Buster's hoping for. Oh, that's right in the face. That's quite good. I think he's going to survive this as well. Chris J's got to be aggressive. He wants to take it down, and he doesn't want anything to do with that fight, so Buster has fought his way out of trouble. Drops the AWP over to James.
That's very interesting. I mean, that kind of play... I could have seen, again, a player that we don't know that much about, potentially sort of being a little bit nervous in a situation like that. He seemed to handle himself very well. Sort of realizing that, okay, if I can sneak onto the site, maybe there's a chance. And once he wasn't given a fight, he says, all right, I'm just going to save the orb.
I feel like five or six of his kills have been with the deagle. So far in this game. He's got 10 kills. You know, he had the 4K earlier. Oscar's seen that jump a number of times, and he keeps taking nade damage just to go for that shot. Can they capitalize on it? Buster with another kill. There's another deagle kill coming out. He's still on catwalk. Sonny's the next one up. He's got low HP, and just the deagle runs out of bullets. So good win, and the AWP on James hasn't been able to get involved, and he's going to have to try and save this. Demasix got to back him up.
Big win. mousesports quick and fast into the bomb site. That means they're going to pull up to 7 rounds here. Only losing Chris in that one as well. I mean, if you're playing against one AWP that's been saved somewhere, I do see this even at top-level Counter-Strike. Sometimes people will play very slow against that one AWP, and that almost maximizes the chance that it can sort of move around and pick people off, you know? So I'm kind of happy about the fast approach. I mean, there are risks, but...
I think it's more so like that kind of... mousesports was really struggling with kind of like some of their more measured and tactical kind of stuff, and I think they just wanted to say, you know what, we're better players than them. Let's show it with more aggression, more speed. Let's just get into their face and outskill them a bit more. And I think that's kind of what's happening, is focusing on your individual fights and your trading.
James felt like the last 2 seconds of that round lasted about an hour in his head, just hiding in the corner, but... ultimately, he's going to be fine. 7-6 right now. mousesports are in the lead. They also have some money to work with here. And Avantgarde, they've managed to keep that AWP alive for a little bit, so we'll see how that works out.
I mean, this is pretty cool. mousesports, you have to say that they got punched in the mouth a little bit, but obviously, I mean, if you look at this in reality, like, one of the rounds that mousesports lost was the 4 deagles to Buster. The other one was losing that pistol in a 3-on-1 in a smoke defuse. This has still been a pretty dominant half for mousesports, all things considered. I think everyone, the general feeling is just kind of surprised to see Avantgarde putting up a pretty solid fight, to be completely honest.
Yeah, but you do make a good point. It's hard to deny that some of those rounds were...
they're gimmicky. The rounds you can't really rely on to occur.
Bordering on ridiculous. But that peek from Buster was great. Didn't sort of close peek the corner, actually over-peeked a little bit, which is really what you should be doing in that situation. But it's not easy to guess that Sunny would have been there. So impressive stuff right there. Now they're a man up, but they really don't have a lot of utility. If the bomb goes down, that could be a problem for them.
We've seen this a number of times, though. mousesports spreading out across the map or having emphasis towards B and readjusting towards A and having a tough time of it. It seems like Avantgarde can read this pretty well. Rops is alone.
Oh, no. They have a lot of Molotovs for Demasix in that sandwich. That's going to be a common spot to try and grenade out. Indeed, his feet are on fire. He still picks up the kill. That's not bad at all. Chris with the triple. One of them with the Molotovs and 2 headshots to follow it up. And just like that, it's a 2-on-2. Buster making his way through and shutting down Stiko. Chris with the plant, and he's stuck behind Buster to save it once again for the triple. And Avant-Garde going to pick up the round, making it 7-7. I'm really starting to like Buster.
Yeah, Buster can game. That's one thing we're going to take away from this match. Small mistake in that 2-on-2. Sticko's got to have gun out there. He's got to be prepared for something else while the bomb is being planted. His pulling the knife out and kind of trying to jump into the site, a little lackadaisical in protecting his teammate. Regardless, 7-7. Another big heroic round from Buster. Pretty solid shot onto Chris J to follow things up as well.
Yeah, that would have been the round, I think, that almost sort of seals this first half. I agree, though. Mousesports 7 rounds, they're going to be fine with it, but no reason to let them back in. Who knows how good they're going to be on the T side?
Exactly.
We're just not sure.
Well, James and Oscar with the op still. Oscar's had a pretty quiet half, all things considered. Chris J is going to sneak up into connector. Here's a big battle. Krizen's had a rough game as well. He's got to be careful. A couple of trades go out in mid, and Chris J, can he see over the smoke? He can on our screen. Now he's definitely heard the footsteps.
Yeah, he must know. That smoke's going to disappear any second, but there's a guy right next to him, and that's quite hurt. So there was a double stack towards the connector. Does mean they're a man up now.
He'll be a little bit frustrated about that. Why is there a second player in connector?
Yeah. Definitely not a fun time. Stiko's brought the bomb back towards the B side. So is Rob's going to be playing distraction here? Or is he going to be trying to lure them out for a rotate?
I think he's got to make a move. I think if you're Rops, you want to go find a one-on-one duel, get that kill, pull James away from the B bomb site. Because you're too far away, even if they get in towards B and plant, I think that's too far for Rops to have to be aggressive and try to make a flank happen. So you want him to be the distraction. Smoke and flash out. The tough part is that smoke that he's thrown is blocking himself off to prevent a pick from the Alper. So it's denying him from finding anything. And now the B players just have to run the gauntlet, and they've at least succeeded in that.
James missing the opportunity, but Rops is down. That shot not connecting through the box. With the bomb planted, Stiko and Sunny still have a lot of work to do in this round. The last of the half, Stiko on the bomb site. I'd say he's very exposed right here. So many angles to cover. Maybe Sunny's going to have to show us what he's really made of here. They're coming in with a big flank here. Quaikut and Kristen walking in from behind. Time's about to run out. Quaikut comes down and Sunny's going to go down. Stiko next in line. And the retake is absolutely on with the defuse kit as well. They're going to have plenty of time here. And it will be the 8th round. So Avant-Garde just barely winning the first half here. I would say that's a very good job.
That is absolutely a good job. And as we said a couple of times, they were bailed out by some massive heroics, the pistol round, the 4 deagle round from Buster. But, I mean, you can't slouch that. These are best of ones, right? If you're Mousesports, you have to be thinking, we can't allow those kinds of rounds. Those are still massive mistakes. So they've given themselves a chance. And like you said, no one knows what they're going to come out with. And they win a couple fortunately timed rounds and break the economy of Mousesports on the CT side. And we could have a real stunner on our hands to start things out.
It would be very interesting. Obviously, I feel like for every major up until this one, Moses, every single one, I've looked at either the qualification stage or actually the sort of the main stage, and I thought, listen, I pretty much know who's going to win. Like it just sort of like it reads off the paper. You look at the matchups, you say, this is going to be easy, and it just never works out that way. There's always some sort of crazy upset. So now I'm just not going to have any opinions about that. I'm just going to like take it as it comes. I don't want to be disappointed anymore. I don't want to be wrong anymore. So I'm just going to enjoy it. And yeah, I mean, this has been really interesting Counter-Strike. I mean, some of it's been a little bit crazy, but
I'm going to call shenanigans on that story because I know going into the majors, you've pretty much predicted Astralis to win like the last 6. Like going back to like Columbus, I think you've predicted Astralis to win every single major. You've only been right once.
Yeah, that's true, but But we don't talk about the other ones.
Yeah, we don't talk about all the ones you were wrong.
Yeah. Does anyone go back and
the strategy behind your predictions right there in a nutshell?
I think for the future I'm going to make my predictions more vague so that they can always be interpreted to be true. You know, like a team with a blonde head, player is going to be winning a major in 18, something like that.
All right, yeah, that's good.
All right, we'll see how this all works out. Rushing towards the B bomb side is Avant-Garde now. They're on the T side here for the second half. Chris picking off one with a headshot, a follow-up as well. That's a double kill. Putting a lot of pressure here on the T side, and now rushing in. Stiko wanted to make it work. Oscar and Robs to close it out. And that is a very smooth way to win a pistol round.
Yeah, that's a very nice shooting out of the Mousesports guys. Not even really getting anywhere near the bomb site was Avant-Garde. Great job from Chris J, the initial 2 kills. So 8-8. this time, Mousesport's not going to let that pistol slip away from them. Nice little B rush to start things out.
Yeah, why not? Get close, try and see if you can maybe run someone down with a Glock. I mean, it's not such a bad idea, but...
I mean, you know, you never know when those runs are actually going to work out. I mean, the 2 kills that Chris gets, the first 2 kills are the important ones, right? Because that creates a lot of space, time for Sticko to take shots. I mean, he used a full clip and wasn't able to find a kill, but plenty of time to have found that 3rd kill to add on to it. There's the scout from Oscar, ringing true. Demasic's going to trade him off with the Deagle. But Mousesport's doing a good job of keeping them at bay.
Yeah, I'm mostly interested in the fact that Buster's got the Deagle. I feel like that's where the action is going to be. He is up in the A apartments, trying to see if he could sneak his way in. He gets a brief chance, but Sonny will take him down. So that story comes to an end, and now they have the man lead on the Mousesports side. I mean, they can build a really big lead if they can shut down the first buy round of Avant-Garde. I mean, it's going to be rough.
Well, they're holding off all these proper choke points. And this is smart. This is like them staying out of the bomb site, making sure they don't die to a Deagle, to a CZ, and give over an M4 that can turn the tides of this round. So that's just really, really good from Mousesports. Not taking too much damage. Remember, that was one of the big things in the early stages of the previous half, was Avant-Garde, after they win pistol, they lost 4 players in the next round. They lost 4 players in the 3rd round, or 3 players in the 3rd round. So, I mean, taking a lot of damage allowed that economy to get reset. Mousesports doing their best to ensure that that doesn't happen.
Chrisen is also on 4 kills, which is quite a bit below the average sort of kill-death ratio here on either team, in fact. So it'd be great if he could have a slightly better second half. That's definitely going to make a difference when you're playing a team as good as Mousesports. Now rushing right in. Robs is going to try and make that work with the MP9, but he does get shut down really quickly.
He just wanted some money. He wanted to pad some stats. You love to see it. Doesn't work out. He's given over the MP9, not the biggest loss. And I mean, he's seen plenty of numbers, so you can see the aggressiveness in mid now. Oscar's going to remain over towards A.
Yeah, just resurrecting an old Dota term. Greed is feed, Moses. I don't know if you ever played Dota in Warcraft 3, but...
I played the original Dota.
Yeah, that's what I meant. That's good. I like hearing that. Chris doing a fine job, picking up some kills against a couple of unarmored targets with pistols, so pretty much par for the course here. Now it gets a bit more interesting, though. 10-8. The T side have picked up an AWP on Jame and AKs for the rest. I think this is the, like, if they want to win this game against Mousesports, this is the round where they really need to change it.
Well, it is all about finding those critical rounds that are really like backbreaking to the economy, which is another reason why Mousesports play in those ensuing 2 eco rounds was so good, because they don't want to, that they know that's the best advantage that Avant-Garde can find as massive underdogs. Well, there's a scout shot to the face, and there's an AK shot to the face, and double it up. Why not? Great sequence, and Demasic towards the A bomb site. They just played contact on A off those kills in mid, and they've cleared out the bomb site. So this is, you said this is a big round, and it's looking beautiful.
Did he just rush middle with a Molotov in hand and still got 2 kills? I think he did. Buster with another one on Chris, and that leaves Sticko up on the scaffolding in the middle, hoping to try and see if he can maybe get 1 more kill. James shoulder peeking away, and backup is coming in. There's a great flick. I really need to see a replay of that.
I think James was sitting at top mid behind that box, and he was just saying, I need help. Guys, please someone come help me. I'm trapped here. I have an AWP. No one's close enough to recover it. And no one came for like 20 seconds, so he just did it all on his own.
Yeah, it was a really good flick, though. So, gotta appreciate that. 9-10. Mousesports getting... again, punched in the mouth, as you were saying. Happens again now. They've fought right back up. Double AWP. They've essentially sunk their entire economy into this round. So now they do expect a big payoff.
Avant-Garde's done it. They've given themselves a chance to start making Mousesports scared of an upset. That's a good nade onto James. He's still holding this, hoping for a jump. I don't think there's any way Sticko gives it to him.
Oh.
Double peek there, so he does, just to get Chris J in position, and that was the exact shot they want. They baited out the shot from James to get Chris J in prime position, and he misses the shot. And he's punished for it. So good advantage, 5-on-4.
Yeah, it really looked like Mousesports was dictating the positions there, and then they still couldn't do it.
It was very, very smart. I mean, you could see James just slid out wide right into Chris's crosshairs, and the play didn't work out.
Now they're starting to gravitate back towards the A-bomb side. Robs and Oscar are holding it. Sunny's not that far away, so essentially the defense here on A is pretty good. If they can just win, you know, 1 or 2 fights, that's probably it.
Tough part is you can if they get smoked out here, right? If you're going to play a retake on A in this juncture in the game in a 4-on-5, you need to get kills as they come in. So if they both got smoked out, Oscar's now moved into the bomb site, but he's got the op, not the most wieldy. And they're just walking up silently. There's no indication this is coming. And there it is. The foot's been spotted. Oscar out in the open somehow recovers. He's about to get pinched from connector, so he's got to be careful.
Flashbang in for the peak there. Oscar going to pick up 1 shot and almost manages to turn it around. Quankett goes down. Jabe now 20 seconds in a 1 versus 3, and he's going to get dropped by Sunny. So I'm surprised. They had almost everything done right there.
You almost feel like mousesports should have been punished. Oscar and Rops both out in the open to a silent contact play up A ramp from Avant-Garde.
Yeah.
In perfect position to just get wiped out clean, basically lined up for him. And Oscar recovers very, very nicely. Even Rops adding in for 1 kill just in the nick of time. So 11-9, mousesports have averted danger for now, but Avant-Garde is going to buy up into this.
11-9. That double up still in play on the mousesports side, and I really feel like that's going to be the undoing of Avant-Garde. I mean, even top-level teams are going to have a hard time if Oscar and Chris are both playing well. This time they have very limited equipment on the Avant-Garde side, so let's see how far they can push it in this round. It looks like mousesports are going for a bit of aggression at the top mid. So are they ready for it? Chris and Buster are on the other side. It could be a good opening to this round if they can win this fight.
There's no reason for mousesports to get too aggressive there, especially considering it was Chris J at top mid with an AWP just holding the angle. He's going to back off now. So we saw the setup earlier today between Oscar and Sunny. And actually, Avant-Garde, with so many players poised towards mid, it looks like they're changing their mind halfway through. They're going to come back to it.
Well, Oscar's just left Sunny alone. He's going to be turning around. Oscar will get 1 kill all the way on the other side, but still, Sunny in a little bit of trouble back here. He stays alive long enough at least. And that's a great shot. Buster added again with a deagle. He's building a reputation for himself.
Yeah, he doesn't mess around with a deagle, does he? That was a beautiful shot. 9-11. 1 more kill would be phenomenal. You could see in a lot of these, I mean, that previous round with Sticko jumping for Chris J so he could have an angle in those B halls. This round, it's Sunny up close with an AK-47, Oscar in window, Chris J on catwalk. mousesports really trying to create space for these ops, but at the moment, they've got to be worried. Buster has shown himself to be a very proficient player and perhaps the most impactful player on this Avant-Garde side. He's now on a 1-on-2, and Oscar's only got 15 HP.
Oh, but the timing, Oscar, he was looking the right way, but Buster still managed to make the jump through, planning with 7 seconds left, and suddenly the pressure is on mousesports here, as you're absolutely right. 1 bullet on Oscar, and he's going to be gone. Robs is falling all the way back, picking up a little bit of utility on the way, and now let's see if they can get this retake in. Buster's ready and waiting for it. He does actually have a flashbang. How much time